Adventureland, and like I said, trying to think of what shows there are and everything. And even though it's not so much a show, you do have it's more of a character thing, but you do have the stepsisters coming out and the fairy godmother, and instead of it just being a character meet and greet where they're just boom, they're in a spot and you go stand in line, as they are coming and going, they are interacting with the people and doing different things. So I kind of gave that one to them. Number 4 was Liberty Square, and like I said, the big reason for that one is the Muppets. Number 5, Frontierland. And then my big one again there was number 6 then too, because of the Jack Sparrow show. I mean, that's one where a lot of times we'll wait around if we know they're seeing them laying down the rope, knowing the show's getting ready to start. As they're marking off their territory, we'll stand around, and even if not, whenever you come out of Pirates or you come around the corner, even though we've seen that one countless times, you always stop and you watch it as it's going on. So yeah, Adventureland's my top one for that one.
Very, very cool. Mike, what about you, buddy?
All right, let me set you guys straight, because this is going out of control here. My bottom of the barrel is Tomorrowland because of the dance party. Maureen and I one time were going through the TTA and we saw a lonely DJ up on stage with a MacBook Pro trying to get people interested, and nobody was. Number 2 is getting 2 points is Frontierland for the 3-piece band and the hoedown. Number 3 was Adventureland. The pirate adventure is great, but you're standing in the blazing sun. You kind of get caught up in the mob as they're passing through over to Pirates of the Caribbean. It should have a better dedicated space because it is so popular. Number 4, getting 4 points is Fantasyland. The Enchanted Tales with Belle for me was right on the border of being a show or not. I figured, well, if you have to get in the standby line for it, I was going to consider it an attraction. But one thing that I remember is the old Sword in the Stone show they do where they pick some great big huge guy, kind of like myself, to come out and try and pull the sword out, and then they pick a kid to come out, and all of a sudden he pulls the sword out and they make a big deal about it. That's pretty cool.
Is that one still going on?
I think it goes on occasionally. I know they have a cast member somewhere that will occasionally release the sword as people come up and pull on it. I know back in the day, if you were the person that pulled the sword out, you got a medal. And I know they don't do the medals anymore. But that to me is just kind of cool. And I had to show Fantasyland some sort of love because I've been beating it mercilessly for the last 20 minutes. Coming in second place for me with 5 points is Liberty Square. The Muppet Show is great. I've seen it from start to finish. It really adds something to that, and I think it's really funny. The jokes in there are great. Sam the Eagle always promoting America is great. And the top one for me was Main Street USA, because you've still got some semblance of a welcome show, not as great as the one they used to have. You've got the Dapper Dans, you've got the trolley show. I'm always a big fan of the trolley show. I'll always watch and stop and watch them get off the trolley and sing and dance. You've also got the piano player over by Casey's Corner. So for your live show dollar, that to me is definitely and easily for me the top.
Very nice. Very nice. So, with the lack of stage shows, I only went with stage shows. I'm going with, because I didn't know about the banjo players, I'm giving Frontierland a 1, followed by Tomorrowland for pure spite because of the DJ parties. Number 3 is Fantasyland. I mean, you've got the Streetmosphere and you've got the Sword in the Stone, which I'd forgotten that they had done it, or were still doing that until I started researching for this. Number 4, I'm giving to the Muppets at Liberty Square. And I, unfortunately, every time I go, it is just ended. And I've missed it every single time. I've seen it on... I've seen his videos on YouTube, and it looks fantastic. So I can't wait to see it in the coming months. Number 5 is Adventureland with the Captain Jack stage show. I have seen bits and pieces of that while I've waited for Pirates, and it just looks really, really cool, especially if you've got kids that have done the Pirate League and they get to interact with it. I think that's a really awesome atmosphere for them to just join in and enjoy being a pirate for the day. And then Main Street USA with all of the Streetmosphere characters, the trolley show, and the 2 castles shows. You've got the show at the beginning of the day instead of it being at the train station now, which I still think should be at the train station. And then you've got, I believe it's Mickey's Festival of Fantasy, that's in the middle of the day, or Fantasy Fair, I believe is what it's called. And that's a pretty big stage show. So that got my gold medal. And with that, we're going to move on to the next category in dining. This is up Mike's wheelhouse here, but we're going to go to Shannon first. Shannon, what is your lowest ranked dining establishment inside of Walt Disney World? Excuse me, dining land inside of Walt Disney World.
Well, my lowest ranked dining land is Tomorrowland. I know people are fans of Cosmic Rays and that, and I was back in the day when you had the ribs, and it was really, really good. And you could have the hot cheese. Remember the hot cheese, everybody? That was fantastic.
The good old days.
Yeah, before people ruined it. Well, they got my they got my lowest ranking score. Number 2 is Fantasyland, and they took away the pot roast. They would have gotten like a 6 on me, but they took away the pot roast and torqued me off with that. So, nope, you're getting a 2. Number 3, Adventureland, because Tortuga Tavern is never open. It just doesn't happen. And they took away the all-you-can-eat taco salad. That just is gone, and so now they get a 3. You know, I'm really sounding very, pessimistic about this whole category here. It's like, obviously, I don't eat at the Magic Kingdom. Number 4 is Frontierland. No, I'm not. I gotta say, the nachos we had at Pecos Bill's for the party in September were killer. Okay, that was sweet. So they got my number 4.
I'll even agree to that. I just ate the meat and the tortillas. I forgot the cheese, but that was unbelievable.
Yeah, it was fantastic. And you had so much. Oh my gosh, that was just amazing. Absolutely amazing.
You ordered way too much.
Well, you know how I throw parties, so just imagine what this year is going to be like. My number 5 was Main Street. I took into consideration not only Crystal Palace, but the Plaza and Tony's. And really, you can find some good stuff there on Main Street. My number 6, though, is Liberty Square, Columbia Harbor House. Even with the latest changes that they've had, the stuff I've had there has been fantastic. I wish they'd bring back that old barbecue sauce they used to have from Heinz. I think it was Heinz.
Yep.
Or no, was it Heinz or was it Kraft? I couldn't remember. But yeah, so they took that. If they bring me back my hot cheese, my pot roast, and the barbecue sauce they used to have, I'd be a happy person. So that's my ranking for dining at the Magic Kingdom.
Thank you, Shannon. We're going to dive over into Rob's choices for dining. What you got, buddy?
Well, I have exactly to a T what Shannon had, and the funny thing is not only do I have the same numbers, I have almost the exact same reasons that Shannon had. So I'll just bounce through them real quick since we were almost on the same page on everything. Tomorrowland, yeah, number 1, there's just nothing there. Cosmic Rays, there's just nothing really there to eat otherwise besides that even. Number 2, Fantasyland, and I'm right there again with Shannon. You bring back my pot roast with that mac and cheese, and boy, it would be the number 1 spot in the parks for me to go to. But now without that one, I don't like Pinocchio's Village House. Be Our Guest is okay, but yeah, there's just nothing. And even Gaston's Tavern, I mean, there's just nothing there. Number 3 is Michael set us all straight, Mr. Foodie here in just a minute, so keep your pants on.
Yeah, for crying out loud.
Adventureland was number 3. You got the Dole Whips over there, which is very good. Tortuga Tavern, I've actually eaten there. I'm actually one of the few people that can actually say I've eaten there. I've actually eaten there a couple times, but they need to have it open more often. And then I have heard it's good. It's still on my bucket list to go. On my plans to do it in May is go to the Skipper's Canteen, so it might jump Adventureland up there a little bit more. The next one then is Frontierland. Yeah, Pecos Bills is good, but it can't touch what the final two are, and that is Main Street USA. Tony's is really good. The Plaza's good. Crystal Palace. I mean, you just got those. But yeah, nothing can top Liberty Square, which is the top one there. Because not only do you have Columbia Harbor House, but you also have the Liberty Tree Tavern. And those are I would say those are the two best restaurants on property. Not on property, but the two best restaurants in the Magic Kingdom. So if ever I'm going to Magic Kingdom, I'm usually circling one of those two are going to be the places I'm going to be eating for one of the meals. So yeah, so that's what I had. That's what Shannon had. And now Mike's going to set us all straight.
Right.
Yeah,
Before I
seems
go
to be
and
my
wreck the
job.
ship.
Yeah, seems to be my job as the almost anchor man here. My lowest as well was Tomorrowland. The dining options there are just not good. Even Sunny Eclipse can't pull Tomorrowland out of the bottom. My second from the bottom, surprisingly enough, was Adventureland. And that's with an asterisk because I have not eaten at Skipper Canteen yet. I don't want to promote it as something great by ranking it higher without me having actually been there. I am going to go there in September, so that could obviously change. Tortuga Tavern, I am one of the multitude of people who can say they haven't eaten there. So that's going to wind up with 2 points for me. Third for me is Fantasyland. It's got some good things going for it. It has, until they change it this summer, Be Our Guest Dinner is very good. You get to meet the Beast. I have not heard a lot of good things about breakfast and lunch there. Being a quick service, I heard it's like a zoo in there. Gaston's Tavern certainly helps bring it up. I need my sugar fix in the morning with the cinnamon roll. And some of the snacks there are good as well. And Pinocchio's is hit or miss, but the seating is pretty cool where you can overlook Small World. Coming in at 4 with the bronze medal, surprisingly, was Main Street USA. I'm a big fan of Casey's. I'm a huge fan of the Plaza. Crystal Palace is okay. Tony's, I don't know what Rob had at Tony's, but I've never heard a good thing about Tony's. Ever.
It's actually funny. I had an ADR for Tony's and told Mike, and he was like, you need to cancel that and go to
Absolutely.
Liberty Tree.
Absolutely. You need to go to anywhere but Tony's. The silver medal with 5 points goes to Frontierland. Even though the options are a little limited, I just have 2 words: toppings bar. You can really accentuate your meal with the toppings, and all of a sudden you're good for the day. And the top one for me as well is Liberty Square, because you do have the Columbia Harbor House, which is one of my favorite quick services in any of the parks. You have the Liberty Tree Tavern, especially for lunch with the Ooey Gooey Toffee Cake. And you also have Sleepy Hollow, where you can get the spicy chicken and waffle sandwich, which is out of this world. I had it last month. It was absolutely fantastic. And there's so many different options in Liberty Square, so that wound up with my number 1.
Nice. Very nice. Now, I like Mike. Well, actually, all of us.
Everybody likes Mike.
Touche. I rank Tomorrowland as the lowest ranked dining establishment, or dining land. Cosmic Rays, it's your typical theme park burger, and
It's what you eat.
I do not eat the burgers at Walt Disney World, nor do I eat the chicken. The rubbery chicken that is there. My number 2 is Adventureland, and Mike, before you crucify me, it's because I'm not an adventurous eater, and I can guarantee I will never step foot in Skipper Canteen. That looks absolutely unappetizing to me. Completely.
It was great. I did like what I had, but I had the steak.
Oh, I didn't even know they had steak there. I thought it was all foreign stuff.
No. They had steak and...
Menus are available online, just so you know.
They're also available on our website as well.
Yeah.
Number 3 is Fantasyland. Even though I always tend to find myself in Fantasyland at Pinocchio's Village House getting a flatbread, it's never good. It's just when I'm hungry, I just happen to be right there, and I get sucked in. I don't know why. I guess I just like watching